Hello, everyone. It's Jennifer Joy, your creativity and life purpose specialist, and we are making our way through the book, Change Your Life in 30 Days by RHONDA BRITTEN. RHONDA BRITTEN, she is a pioneer life coach. She was the life coach on Starting Over, one of the very first reality TV shows. Let me tell you, this one wasn't about the drama. This one was about growth and personal development, and it was how I discovered life coaching. I didn't know what life coaching was until I saw this show back in 2004. She's also been on Oprah several times, and I'm happy to say she is my teacher, and I work for her at the Fearless Living Institute, and we have meetings in her house and help strategize on her life coach certification program. Lots of fun with Rhonda. Lots of fun and good work. Good, meaningful work. So we're making our way through her book, and this is I think it's my favorite book of hers, Change Your Life in 30 Days. I've probably been through it a dozen times or so in the last 10 years for myself and with my clients. Now, today we are on day 10. And one thing I love about Rhonda's work is that she talks about integration. So it's not just about having the ahas, the aha moments, as Oprah says, but it's about bringing them into your life, and not only bringing them into your life in a practical way, but also in making them a part of your being. So here you change your life in 30 days. On day 10, after 10 days of exercises and work and insight, after 10 days, it's a day to just have some space to reflect on what you've been working on. Your accomplishments, your results, your insights, the actions you've taken, just some time to put it all together without adding new stuff to the mix. So that's what we're doing today. Now, don't worry if you have not seen my other Change Your Life videos. You can always go back, search in the group for CYL, Change Your Life, and watch any video that you haven't seen. But you can always follow along. You can drop in on any day and follow along. So even though this is an integration day, I'm going to show you how we've put it all together, or how we can put it all together. And you can join in today, and I'm sure you'll get something out of it. Now, what I want to do, is bump my camera. What I want to do is start by talking about something that's going to seem unrelated. But in the Change Your Life in 30 Days, Rhonda talks about, in a couple chapters, there's one chapter on shining. I think that was yesterday maybe, and I talked about it yesterday. How can you shine? How can you express yourself more? And then she kicks off the whole book with talking about how can you be more true to yourself. So shining and being true to yourself. Shining and being true to yourself. That's where I want to start today. And I want to start out in maybe a little unconventional way. And it's by making a confession. I have a secret... Oh, what is that? I had the word earlier, the phrase for when guilty pleasure. I have a guilty pleasure. That's it. Secret guilty pleasure. And that is that I love the show America's Next Top Model. Now, there have been some iterations I didn't like. They went into social media for a while and put the boys with the girls, and it just didn't have the same flavor to me. But they've brought it back more in its original format, and that's what I love about it. Now, one thing that I like, my husband doesn't like it. He thinks there's too much drama with the models and all that, which is true. There's some drama, but that's not why I tune in. I tune in, especially in the early days. I loved, hey, Kelly. In the early days, I loved when Tyra would be talking about the art of modeling. She doesn't do it as much anymore. But to see her say, okay, if you just turn this way to the light, notice the difference. And it's like, oh my gosh, I do notice the difference. That's incredible. If you just tilt your head this way, look at how that changes the shape. So for me, that was very interesting. I loved all those details about that. Now, she doesn't do that as much anymore, probably because, been there, done that. And actually a lot of the models coming up now are like, oh, I've been raised on America's Next Top Model. So they know all that. But what she really focuses on now, even more than in the past, is owning those parts of you that might not be the parts you love. All right. So she's all about not having cookie cutter models, right? If you've got the gap tooth, how do you own that gap tooth? How do you shine in that truth of who you are? If you have the crooked nose, how do you make that your superpower? How do you make that work for you, right? So I really think that's about shining and being true to yourself, is taking those parts of you that maybe you don't love and mastering them and making them your superpower. And as a matter of fact, this is really, for those of you who don't know, I am also, my life purpose specialist designation really comes from the fact that I do scientific hand analysis, which means that I can help people know their soul's mission, their sacred contract, by looking at the fingerprints and palm prints, which are formed between the 14th and 16th week in utero, and they never change. They correlate to your soul's mission, your life's purpose. Actually, there are three parts of that: your life purpose, your life lesson, and your life theme. Now, I'm not going to get deep into it, but I know there are some of you out there who had your hand analyzed by me before. So when I talk about Tyra Banks owning the gap tooth or owning the crooked nose, I'm talking about that own your life lesson. Whatever your life lesson is, it's about owning that, mastering it, standing in the power of that. And as a matter of fact, I spoke to a client last night about how she has to do her life purpose is to stand in her power. That's her life lesson, is power, around power. So she needs to be empowered and stand in her power in order to do her life purpose. She needs to own that part of her that she's not as comfortable with, the life lesson portion. For those of you who are in the fearless living world, it might be owning your trigger. And of course, owning your essential nature as well. But it might be owning your trigger. Being willing to be seen as weak, being willing to be seen as incompetent, being willing to be seen as stupid. If you're not in the fearless living world, you're probably going, what? And I did that just like Rhonda, right? What? But you know, if you know it, I'm talking to you. So really, this Change Your Life in 30 Days is about where you can shine more in your life, where you can be more true to yourself, more authentic. And so let's look at how she's talked about that in the past 10 days. So look at where you want to change your life. And for people in this group, I'm gonna, you come into the group and many of you answer these questions as you come into the group. And I really appreciate it because that's how I can target things to you. That's how I can serve you better. So let's say your desired goal is that you want to have more income, right? You want to make an income, more income with your business, with your creativity, with your healing, with your expression. You want more income. So that's your big goal. Well, in the Change Your Life in 30 Days in the past, we've talked about creating an intention around that goal. So who do you need to be? What type of, excuse me, I've got my voice cracking like a little boy. What do you need to become, or what part of you, what type of person is someone who increases their income? Maybe you need to be more visible. Maybe you need to be more courageous. A courageous person has more income. Maybe a person who's more visible, a person who stands in her power, a person who owns her worth, right? So you create an intention around, you might be creating your intention around your life lesson, your life, your trigger, your essential nature, something in you where you want to bring that out more so that you can actually increase your income. So let's just say that your my goal is to make more income, and I'm going to do that. I'm willing to practice being more, owning my expertise. I'm willing to practice standing in my power and owning my worth. I'm willing to practice standing in my power and owning my worth. Now, I want to make that fun. I don't want it to be like this daunting task. So I want to check in with myself and go, oh, is that inspiring to me? Does it bring up a lot of fear? It might bring up fear, and that's okay. Is it bringing up too much fear? Do I need to have an inspirational element, a fun element? So since we're talking Next Top Model, America's Next Top Model, I'm going to bring a little Tyra ranks into this intention. And I'm going to say, I am willing to practice standing in my power and owning my worth so that I can be next level fierce. Because that's our thing this season, next level fierce. So I'm going to bring that in to sort of motivate me and make me happy. So that's my intention. I'm willing to practice being next level fierce by owning my worth and standing in my power. Then I look at that and go, okay, now what's going to get in the way of that? There might be some limiting beliefs that come up around that. Maybe I don't think I'm expert enough, or maybe I don't think I really can make an impact. Maybe I have issues around money in general. So then I might look at some affirmations that are going to help me mentally grasp that concept. Hello, Darla, welcome. So I might create an affirmation if I'm having issues owning my worth or standing in my power. I might create some affirmations to support that intention. So it might be my work has value and makes an impact. I love knowing that people want what I offer. It's okay for me to make more money. Those might be some affirmations I add in. So now I have the goal. I want to make more income. I want more income. My intention is I'm willing to practice that next level fierceness around owning my worth and stepping into my power. And I'm going to practice the intentions daily, have that discipline, and Rhonda talks about discipline. I'm going to have that discipline of practicing the intentions. My work has value and I make an impact. It's okay to make more money. And I love knowing that people want what I have to offer. So then I'm also going to have those are like my mindset goals, my mindset affirmations, so that I also want to bring it into the world. So I'm going to create some goals around how do I actually do that? How do I practice being next level fierce? How do I practice standing in my power and owning my worth? So that's when I use the stretch, risk, die model. I look at where I am right now. What's my status quo? What's my comfort zone right now? And I want to practice moving outside that comfort zone. And as I've mentioned, I'm not going to go into the whole stretch, risk, die model. You can look at that in a previous video called Stretch, Risk, or Die in this Change Your Life series. But I'm just going to look at, I want to take a little move outside my comfort zone. What would that look like? Well, maybe part of increasing my income is holding an exhibition of my artwork or doing a workshop, right? Being more out there, standing in my power, owning my worth, being more out there. So maybe a little bit out of my comfort zone would be doing research on venues that I could exhibit my art or do a workshop, right? I'm going to look at what's my next step. Now I also want to see, okay, that's something that's not too far out my comfort zone. What's something a little further, something that feels a little risky? Well, that might actually be booking the venue. Oh my gosh, it might get my heart racing and be like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this. I'm really, really going to do this, right? So that might be a risk for me. And then something super far outside my comfort zone that I might not even be willing to tackle right now, but who knows, maybe in the future, maybe not. Might be just cold calling old customers or new customers and clients and going, hey, want to buy my art? Hey, want to come to this workshop? That might be my die zone, where I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's too far. I die before I do that. Okay. So when I look at what step do I want to take? And that step, now I might say, okay, I'm going to start with gathering information about a venue where I can do my workshop or exhibit my art. And that's my goal. That's my step number one. That's going to help increase my income. And it's going to help me practice being next level fierce, owning my worth, and standing in my power. Okay? So that's how that all sort of fits together. Now, what might happen is that my brain, I might start to go, okay, I've gathered research and I think I'm ready to take that risk. I think I'm ready to book that venue. Oh, I think so. And then automatically you might have a negative thought come up. Oh, they won't like you. They won't like what you do. Well, when that starts happening, it's time to ask yourself, is that true or am I making that up? Is that true, or is fear getting in there? Are limiting beliefs getting in there? Now, no one's actually told me, hey, I hate your work. You shouldn't ever do a workshop. You shouldn't ever exhibit your art. No one's told me that. And if they did, it's probably not someone who I care about anyway, right? So I want to go, okay, is that true, or am I making it up? No, I'm making that up. That's fear. That's a limiting belief. That's because I'm stepping outside my comfort zone, right? So instead, I'm going to acknowledge myself. No, I acknowledge myself for practicing this intention. I acknowledge myself for being ready to book this venue. I acknowledge myself, and oh yeah, let's double up on some affirmations. It's okay for me to make money. I love knowing that people actually do want what I have to offer, and my work does have value and make an impact. Right? So those are the tools we've been working on. Those are the last 10 days in a nutshell, how you put it all together. So I'd love to, yes, love that tool. Isn't it great? So how are you putting it together? How are you taking what we've talked about in the past 10 days, even if it's not every step, even if it's not everything I've talked about? What have you done? What insights have you had? What results have you seen in the last 10 days? Which ways have you stretched out of your comfort zone? Where have you been more true to yourself, and where have you been willing to shine? So that's integration. That's integration. Yay! If you have any questions about this, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd also love to know what you're practicing, what you're working on. Where are you shining? Where have you seen results? Yes, Kelly says, I've let go of so much and still find I'm making up more. Right? Is it true, or am I making it up? It's a constant question. And that is a great point, Kelly, too, is that we have tools to help keep us out of self-doubt and that questioning. And yet we're human. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And that's when we get support. We use our tools, we lean on our tools, we get support from other people. So again, if you need support, any of you, feel free to reach out. You can leave me a question in the comments. You can private message me, or you can jump on my calendar and grab a Creative Spark strategy session where we really focus in on what's holding you back right now. And keep in mind, it's a practice. It's a practice. You're never gonna, well, you will master things. You will gain confidence. You will gain self-worth, right? You'll climb that mountain, but then you're going to see that mountain over there. You'll gain mastery here, and then you're still going to want to grow. You're going to want to tackle the next thing. And all that stuff's going to come up again. And you get to lean into your experience, lean into your tools, and lean into your support. So I hope this has been of service to you. Tomorrow, we are moving on. Tomorrow, it's new material. So take today, integrate, celebrate what you've done, celebrate the insights, celebrate the results. And I'd love to hear from you and have you share what you've been experiencing in this journey. So take care of you, everyone, and I will be back tomorrow with Change Your Life in 30 Days, day number 11. Number 11, isn't that a power number or something? Can't wait. We'll see what comes up for day 11. Bye-bye, everyone.